Hello, everyone. So I wanted to take some time and do a demonstration of how to edit footage in QuickTime, just using QuickTime, which is free and available across platforms, I believe. There are a lot of other free pieces of software that can be used to edit video. This one just happens to be one that I have, and so I wanted to take a moment and go ahead and demonstrate how this is done. We'll go on to showing my screen here. Hopefully it all looks good. So what I've done is created a folder describing a space, and inside that folder, like most other projects that you're going to do, I have footage. I have all the clips that I shot. I have the usable clips that I'm going to be using, and I've actually created some sub clips here, and that'll be the first thing that I show you how to do is creating what are called sub clips, which is basically where we're gonna take a clip and we're gonna trim it down on both sides or select out a portion of it that we might be able to use. So I'll open up the usable clips and I'll just choose one of these to start working on. I'll go to Control, Open with QuickTime Player. And I have the QuickTime Player then open up the footage, and you can see this is the clip that I have. Okay, so I've got this panning to the right clip that I'm going to select a piece of footage out of. To do that, I will go up to the top menu here to where it has the edit pull down menu, and I'm going to choose trim. Pretty simple. We choose trim, and the timeline changes down here to allow me to make a selection within the footage. Now, as a good videographer, I went ahead and created, as you can see, no movement here, a good 3 or 4 seconds worth of pre-roll so that I could begin to do this. So I'm going to find where I want to select a portion of the film somewhere along the lines here. I'm going to continue down the road. Let's see, how about somewhere about here to start? And then I grab the other end and decide where I want that to finish. So maybe I will finish it somewhere over here or something like that, just as an example. And then I simply hit trim. When I hit trim, you can see that now the footage is untitled. It's a brand new clip. This is not the original. This is a brand new clip that I have created. Now I can go ahead and view that clip to make sure it's what I'm looking for, what I really want. And if I'm satisfied, I can simply go to File and Save. If I'm unsatisfied, I can go to Edit, Undo, Trim. So File, Save, or Edit, Undo, Trim. I'm okay with that because it's just a demonstration here. I'll hit Save, and I get my basic, save window. I like to, in demonstrations like this, go ahead and name these things for what they do. I'm going to call this, because this was a pan right, and it happens to be the second pan right, I think, that I have here. No, it's the third. So we're going to go pan right 3 and save. And it's going to save to the original Describe a Space folder. So that's it. You make these sub clips, which are now living outside here. Here's the clip I just created. I also have 3 others that I made here. Now, how do we create a movie? How do we create an edited movie here just using QuickTime without going into Premiere Pro or any of the other software that you might be able to find? Now, you're welcome to do that. This demonstration is really for those who maybe don't have Premiere Pro or just looking for a way to create a quick rough cut of that kind of thing of your footage. So I'll go ahead and I'm just going to select a piece of footage to start off with. I'll select the pan right here and Control Open with QuickTime Player. So I've got this, and this is basically going to serve as the starting point. I'm going to use it as my opening clip, and I can still do some trimming on this if I want to, and I probably will. However, what I want to do is go ahead and bring another clip in. So this is one clip that I have. And so now I will go to the original clips and I'll decide what's the next clip that I want to insert here. So this happens to be a pan right, so I'm not going to do another pan right because that would look silly. I might do something like a crab left though, because that's going to move me in a different direction, which is going to create a little bit of interest there. So what I'll do is I'll grab this piece of footage and I'll just drag and drop it. And what happens here is when I drag and drop it, it places it right after the other clip. So I have one clip and I have two clip. I have one clip and two clip. And with each of these, I can continue to trim. So as I play the video, you can see, I'm gonna go ahead and move the cursor backwards here. Cursor, where are you? Hello, oh, there you are. Just a little bit difficult to find. Okay, so I've got this piece of footage that is panning. And then I've got this other piece of footage that is crab to the right. All right, and so I'm fairly happy with those two, but I want to make them even shorter, even though I'm in the middle of this footage. I've got this one selected, and so I can go to Edit and Trim. Yuppers. And I can go ahead and trim this piece of footage back down again to wherever I want it to stop doing its thing. So it's moving along here, and I think I want it to end right about somewhere, something like, let's see, somewhere like here, okay? So there we go. I hit trim, and what it did is it trimmed it, and now I've got the two clips again. I've got one, and I've got two. I can do the same thing with this first one as well. But let's just take a look at what the trimmed version looks like. So I've got it there. Now it's moving the other way. Looks good. All right, so I do want to trim the first one. So I'm going to do that. So I select it, go to Edit, I go to Trim, and I noticed that I didn't really like all of that. I want to kind of start the clip right about here, and then maybe end the clip somewhere right about there. So not a whole lot of movement, but there, somewhere like that. I hit trim, and now I've got my piece of footage again, right? So I play, and you can see I've got that piece of footage, and if I scroll all the way back, I can now see that I've got that, and I've got that. So now I've got a couple of clips. Let's put a third one in, just to do some more demonstration. I've got a dolly in, so we'll drag that straight on down. And you can see, again, it puts it right at the end of the piece of footage. So there's my dolly in. And this one, seriously, I need to trim. So I'm going to go ahead and begin to do that. So I'm thinking somewhere right about there is where I want to trim this piece of footage so that it moves in nice and slowly, and somewhere right there. Okay, so I'm going to go to trim again. Oops, look what happened. I had the wrong piece of footage selected, and so therefore it brought me to the previous one. I'm going to hit cancel and make sure that I have the clip that I need to select selected. And no, I didn't mean to do that, but it was a good thing because it can kind of demonstrate that you have to select the footage before you go to trimming it. All right, so again, File, I'm going to go to Edit, Trim. Now I have the footage that I'm looking for, and I'm going to move in because I kind of maybe want it to be right about here. And even though I think I want to have this ending somewhere right in here, actually I'm going to back up just a little bit here. This footage is a little bit shaky. I didn't quite get this one right, but we'll use it anyway, right? All right, so I've got this piece of footage now, and then I will hit trim. And it did it for me very nicely. So I've got this push in, dolly, move here. But let's say that I want to stick something in between this long clip. You can see this clip is getting kind of long and boring, right? Even though it's only a few seconds. If I want to add something to this clip in the middle of it, I simply have to hit Edit and Split. Okay, Edit and Split. If I edit and split the clip, it's going to split it wherever my cursor happens to be. So I do want to make sure that I have it in the right place. So as I scroll back, I'm going to move forward, move forward. This looks about good. So I'm going to hit edit and I'm going to hit split the clip. Okay. Boom. So now I have 2 pieces of footage instead of 1. And what I can do then is bring another clip and sit it in between here, which is what I will do. Let's see. What piece of footage do I want to finish out on? Let's finish out on this piece of footage here. Crab right. So we drag and drop it. And I've got the crab right here. Okay. So let's see, I've got this piece of footage. We'll stick over here. And as you can see, I can start moving clips around at will. I can just drag and drop and it's going to scooch things out of the way for me. And I can move things around however I would like them to be moved. So now I've got this clip here, right? Which again is a bit long. So I'm going to go ahead and trim it down even more than I already had. So I'm going to start it right there. So I select it, I go to edit, I go to, actually, you know what? Maybe I will split this one too. So I'm going to have it go here. Then I'll split it, edit, split. There we go. And then I'm going to drag this one here. And then we'll have this one pick back up again over here. Yeah, I think that's going to work. And so now, when I get to play the footage, I've got this back here, and we'll end the clip right there. So that's good, yeah. All right, so I have got now a complete clip, except now I've got random audio going on this piece. It's just the audio that came with the footage. You, of course, are wanting to create a soundscape, and you could be doing this simply by getting a bunch of clips that you have recorded from the video, and then as you're working, you can actually come over here, and you can pull out the audio itself, just save the audio or remove the video. So as you can see here, I can remove the audio from any clip or I can remove the video from any clip. So what you would do is you would go into your unused clips, or you'd go to whatever clips that you intended to just use as audio, and you would open one of those up. So you would come in and you would open any of these pieces of footage up, open with QuickTime Player, and then you could simply come in here and say, remove the video, right? And so if I hit remove the video, it turns it just into a piece of audio that I can then save, and then I can do the same kind of editing that I'm doing with anything else. However, just for time's sake, I'm gonna delete that guy. I'm just gonna drag a piece of pre-mixed audio into this, which is just a clip that I got from my iTunes here. This is some funky beat or whatever. Drag that in, and you can see it just dropped it right in there. So now that I have that done, I can listen to it, of course, you know, the footage that I have, and determine whether I've got exactly the, you know, what I'm looking for, and hit play. So just all right, so there's my video. Now that I have it, if I'm totally satisfied with that, all I have to do at this point is to go to File and Export As. And I can export this now as a thing. I can export it as a video. I can export it as pretty much whatever I want to export it as. So I'll go to File, Export As. I'm going to export it as 1080p because that's what I want. I'm going to title this Comp 1. and save it. And it's going to save right to the describe to the space. And that's exactly what it's doing. Once that's done, I can check it out. Here's my Comp 1 movie. It's right here. And there's my video. All of it being done just basically in QuickTime. No other footage. Now, this is, I did this very quickly. I don't even know how long I've been going, but I did this extremely quickly. Clearly, if you're intending on or need to do this kind of editing, you're going to want to plan very well, because of course we can't do things like cross fades. We can't do speeding up the footage or slowing down the footage and stuff like that. So it is important that you plan if you're going to be intending to do this. But I wanted to record this for you guys just so you had a little bit of information on how to maybe do an edit where you're not using professional software. You're simply using QuickTime, and that's it. So hopefully this was helpful to you. If this is irrelevant, that's fine. Maybe it was just fun to watch somebody do an edit clip. If it is helpful to you, I'm glad. Feel free to send me a message, ask questions, stuff like that if you need some clarification. And by all means, send me, if you find some video that you really, or a video editing software that you really like, that you found that is free or that is downloadable that you're able to use, let me know. I'm always curious about new software and how that stuff works. All right, thank you so much, and that will do it.